Bob Cusack is the editor of The Hill, and he joins us now. Welcome, Bob. What a difference a month makes. So what's your assessment of this race as it stands right now, right before Labor Day?
Well, Trey, right now it's a race again. It's very similar to the race before the disastrous Biden debate. Trump was winning back then, and then he looked like he was going to just dominate that race and even, I thought, win the popular vote. Now things have changed. We are in a very close race now. Either side can win. There are a lot of people out there, believe it or not, that haven't made up their mind. So this is going to be a very important stretch for both candidates, and the debate could make the difference.
All right, Republicans and others, some in the media, complain that Harris is short on details and she won't answer questions. But unless the voters make her, force her to do so, she really doesn't have to, does she?
No, she doesn't. I mean, think about it from the campaign's perspective. She's on this really long honeymoon that continues, and she's got this momentum. Why have a bad interview or really hurt that momentum, especially going into the convention? However, as you know, Trey, she has committed to at least doing one major interview by the end of this month. So that's basically over the next week. But how many more is she going to do? And she's got to answer so many questions about why she changed her position on healthcare, energy, compared to her 2019 bid, and on guns as well. That's going to be a difficult question for her to answer because obviously a lot of people think it was for political expediency.
Oh, no, it couldn't possibly be that. Who knows? Maybe fracking might come up. I don't know if Pennsylvania is important or not. All right, Robert Kennedy is out. Let's listen to what he said, and I'll ask you about it on the other side.
President Trump had been reaching out to me, and I talked to him a few hours after the assassination attempt, and we had a long conversation by phone. I then had two extensive meetings, and there were issues, the broader issues that were most important to me, the ones that brought me into the campaign. Those are all things that President Trump also wanted to work on, and he invited me to form a unity government.
I feel dumber than I usually do because I never really thought of Kennedy as a Republican or even a highly coveted endorsement. So was he promised a role in the Trump administration? I mean, there are rumors of Kennedy being CIA director over someone like John Lee Ratcliffe. I mean, that stuns me. What's going on here?
Yeah, the campaign is saying no, there's no quid pro quo. But as you know, Trey, I mean, Trump calls everybody. If he doesn't like a story, he'll call me. I'm sure he calls you, and he calls RFK Jr. to get his endorsement. And Trump needs some good headlines. So do I think it's going to make or break the Trump presidential bid? Probably not. But it's good headlines that he's got a Kennedy on his side. And maybe that helps with a few independent voters.
All right, so the DNC convention speeches talked about pain and disunity and how awful things are. And I sat there wondering whether they realize who's been in charge for the last 3 years. I mean, Democrats control the White House and the Senate right now. So if things are really bad, why isn't it their fault?
It's a good question. It's another question that I think Harris is going to have to answer. And Trump has mentioned it repeatedly. Whether it's on the economy or inflation, the withdrawal, a botched withdrawal, deadly, of Afghanistan. Harris was the VP. Was she involved in those discussions or not? And why is she just going to blame Biden for that? And then she gets off scot-free. Right now, the voters are giving her a pass. She's someone basically new in the race. We really haven't seen much of Harris over the last 3.5 years. She's been kind of an invisible VP, but now she's front and center, and she's got a shot to win this thing.
It's hard to hide when you are a candidate for the highest office in the world, but we shall see. Bob Cusack from The Hill, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.